Good morning everybody. This is my first ever video on my new channel, Chris Talks to You. Okay, this channel is going to be focused around different aspects of life, emotions, feelings, things that people have gone through, things that I've gone through myself, and basically this is going to be about me trying to give any advice that I can give to you guys, talking about my personal experiences with many of these topics, and discussing the topic as a whole. So for my first video, to keep things quite light and cheery, I'm going to start off with happiness. Now, happiness is a very, very particular and peculiar emotion to have, because if you look up in the dictionary what happiness is, it literally says the state of being happy. Excuse me. Now, the state of being happy, what does that mean? So I thought, right, I'll go and Google what the dictionary definition of that is as well. And it says feeling or showing pleasure or contentment. Now, that to me does not explain happiness at all. For me, happiness is being able to see my mum. I only get to see my mum a few times a year, obviously being in the military and things like that. That's true happiness to me. And to see other people around me happy makes me happy. I've always been the type of person to put everybody else before myself in order to bring happiness to them, and to ensure that they are content with life, back to that word contentment. For me, it's one of these things, like, to see food in the cupboards makes me happy, okay? Now, to a lot of yous, that will not make a lot of sense, whereas to me, because I've been in a state where I've had very, very little, and I was homeless, and, was literally living off a few pound a week, to see food in a cupboard makes me very happy. It makes me appreciate things. Whereas for you guys, happiness might be money, happiness might be a new car, happiness might be all sorts of things. My best friend Amy, for example, her little girl, Lily, is just the most beautiful little girl in the world, right? She is absolutely stunning. And the things that make Amy happy is seeing her little girl happy and seeing her little girl succeed in what it is she's trying to do. Whether it's new words that she's trying to learn, or maybe the first time that she walked. These are all things that made her happy. And that is what is very important, guys, is that you understand that happiness is different for everybody. Okay, happiness doesn't come as a whole collective of, yes, that will make you happy. Like, if you look at a lot of celebrities who have millions and millions of pounds, they're not happy. For example, if you look at Robin Williams, rest in peace, he was a very, very well-known comedian. He was a very happy person on the outside. He always brought laughter and joy to everybody and everything that he done in his movies, and he was playing as the genie, and everybody was always so happy around this man, and he was suffering deeply from depression. And that goes to show that happiness affects everyone in different ways, guys, alright? And the one thing I must put across in this is that you have to find happiness within yourself, okay? If you don't have happiness within yourself, how can you expect to make other people happy? Excuse me, I do have a pretty bad cold at the moment, alright? But if you find happiness in something, right, you stick to that, no matter what anybody says to you. It's like when I was younger, when I was a late teenager, I used to have really long hair. I used to straighten my hair, I used to have my lip pierced, I used to dress in skinny jeans and everything like that, because that made me happy. And the people around me didn't appreciate that, and didn't, they were just saying that it's just a phase, and that, but at the time, that is what made me happy. And I stuck to it for a few years, but obviously due to society and things like that and joining the military, I had to get rid of the look. But you need to find your happiness in yourself, and don't let anybody else take that away from you. So for example, I'm a very proud supporter of the LGBT community, okay? If you're a man and you find happiness being with another man, then you do that, regardless of what anybody tells you. No matter what. If people take the mick at you and take the piss at you and call you gay and call you a faggot and all that, do you know what? Fuck them, because you're happy. You're happy within yourself, and the people like that are not happy because they find happiness by picking on other people, by trying to remove the happiness from you, to try and fuel their little self-consciousness. It's like bullying, for example, right? Which will be another topic for another video. But bullies are often people who are so self-conscious within themselves that they have to take out feelings of anger and emotion on smaller, weaker people to try and make them feel better about themselves. But you'll often find it's them themselves that are the ones that are actually suffering the most. But you find yourself happiness, guys, right? If you, for example, I have a few friends who are transsexuals. I have friends who are drag queens. I have friends who are straight. I have friends who are gay. Okay? And they are happy. They're genuinely happy. And society, unfortunately, these days tries to remove happiness from them by saying that that's not right, that that is not acceptable. But that's absolute bullshit, guys, right? If you are a female and you want to be with a female, be with her. Find happiness with her. Love each other, cuddle each other. It doesn't matter what anybody else says, because as long as you are happy within yourself, that's all that really matters at the end of the day. Okay, guys? It's so important that if you find happiness with yourself, it will make everyone around you happy, because you can really tell when a person is happy. Okay, you can always sense it. You can always see it in their face, just the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they hold themselves. If they're content within themselves, they'll have their chest out, shoulders back, head held high, because they don't care what anybody says. Like I said before, I was always the person that people would come to with problems and any issues that they were having in life, and I would always put myself back in order to try to bring happiness to everybody else around me. And yes, it did bring me some amount of happiness and joy seeing other people happy, but I was so focused on everybody else that I wasn't taking care of my own happiness. And that caused a lot of problems for me, a lot of mental problems, because I didn't deal with my own subconscious because I was so focused on everybody else. And that caused a lot of issues for me. And over the last couple of months, I've definitely started to improve and started to do things to make me happy. And that's why I'm putting this channel up, guys, okay? So that I can express myself to you and give any advice that I may have. Doesn't mean it's the right advice or the wrong advice. This is only my opinions, guys. And I want your opinions, okay? Because you might think I'm talking absolute shite. You might think, what is this guy all about? You know, I've got hundreds of thousands of pounds in my bank, and look at me, I'm very happy. But that's great. That is fantastic for yourself. If that's you, I'm really glad you've done well for yourself. But everyone sees happiness in different ways, right? Your dog, for example, when you come home from work, right? If you've been out at work for a couple of hours and you come home, your dog will literally be the happiest thing on the planet, because he is so excited to see you. Whereas if you're at home all day with the dog, you might not experience the same amount of happiness. You know, it does change and it does differ per person and per animal, but you find your own happiness. That's the only thing I can say from this video. If you're ever going to take anything that comes out this mouth of mine, right, find your own happiness with whomever you may want to be with, or within yourself, right? Because, like I say, how can you make somebody else happy if you can't even make yourself happy? Alright, guys? I've done it for years. No happiness for me, because I was so focused on everybody else. But I've learnt from that mistake. I've learnt that sometimes you have to put yourself first in order to help the people around you. Alright? That is a really important topic, okay? But back to happiness, right? What is it that makes you guys happy? That's what I want to know. What makes you happy? What makes me happy, I've already said. Being able to see my family, being able to go into a cupboard and be able to have food, be able to buy clothes, to see other people around me happy, and to be able to make people smile, make people laugh. That is what brings me happiness. But what brings you happiness, guys? I want you to tell me. So if you could just place a comment in the public-based comment section down below and let me know what it is that brings you happiness, because I'm very interested in this. This is something I've definitely thought about doing for a while, and I would like to see where it is that you guys come from and what brings you happiness. Alright, guys? Now, this is the end of the video, and remember, guys, stay happy within yourselves and it will bring happiness to others around you. Alright? Thank you so much for watching this first video. I do hope it has been some help to you. If you have any topics that you would like me to discuss, or if you would like some advice on something in particular, just leave a comment in the comment section down below and I will get back in touch with you as soon as I can. And obviously, guys, this is a brand new channel, so make sure you hit that subscribe button down there as well and try and get this channel growing so I can try and reach out to people out there. Okay, guys? Anyway, this has been Happiness from Chris Talks to You, and I will see you guys in my next video. Take care. Bye bye.